Clixed Off is brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at luckydicecafe.com.
Welcome to Clixed Off Sudden Death.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sudden Death, the fun, whimsical, sometimes educational podcast for Clixed Off. I'm your host, Sam Powell, and joining me on this adventure are my good friends, teammates, and those who have more HeroClix knowledge than me. We have TJ, Azareth, and then also tonight, our newest team member, we have our professional Agatha player, Nick Belew. Do you guys want to say hi?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? And well, unfortunately, we are down a TJ today.
We are down a TJ, but he might join in. So I wanted to say his name just in case. But right now we have Azareth and Nick on. So real quick, just want to let everybody know that Clixed Off is sponsored by TrollandToad.com. Visit TrollandToad.com, the world's largest HeroClix dealer, for all your HeroClix and gaming needs. So if you're needing something specific for Adepticon, Rock Cup, and or Worlds, or you just need that one older piece to fill out a collection, visit TrollandToad.com to find great prices. Use the coupon code CLIXEDOFF for 5% off your HeroClix order. Merchant and pre-order items do not apply. And if you like what you're hearing today from Clixed Off, especially the Sudden Death show, check out our patreon.com/ClickedOff. $1 and above gets entered into our monthly giveaways. $5 and above gets entered into our exclusive Discord server where you can participate in HeroClix strategy and tactics discussion. So welcome, guys. We've haven't been on for a little while. Yeah, we went to Florida and then we came back, and I don't know about you guys, but I got sick, and life happened, and got kind of crazy.
I didn't. Well, I came back with a bit of a cold, but that's about it.
Yeah. So.
I've had COVID since, actually. So.
Oh my gosh, it's something weird's going around. I know with this week, like where I'm at, I don't know about you, but like where we are here in the Midwestern part of the country, we had like a 70-degree day, and then we're down to 30 degrees, and then we're back up to 64, then we're back down to 40. It's like,
yeah,
we've had pretty consistently cold days for a while. Like every randomly now and then we have like a 50, 55, 60-degree day, but it's been pretty cold pretty consistently.
It's been one of those, like, in the morning you're like, okay, I'm gonna need a jacket, almost like you need like a winter coat. Then by the afternoon you're in a t-shirt, and then by 5:30 you're in a jacket. It's so weird. So we've had a lot of news happen in the HeroClix community. Like, I know we haven't recorded in a long time, and I know the Clixed Off show has, and they've talked about some things, but man, we've had a lot of great news coming out as far as events and just overall chatter about events and upcoming sets. So we'll get into that a little later, but like, let's just talk about Florida. I know all three of us went, and Daniel.
Yep.
So we did have Daniel there, but I thought it was a great event. The hotel was nice. I particularly kind of liked the year before's hotel better, but
See, I'm of the opposite opinion. I thought this year was much better than last year. I thought last year was way overpriced for what the hotel was.
I know it's overpriced. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was because I was in the room more. So
I mean, that's fair. But we had an Applebee's in the lobby, and that was pretty great.
It was helpful, not gonna lie.
Very helpful.
It's one of those when I saw, like, I looked at the hotel when they first came out, and I was like, oh, this is, like, set up perfect for a HeroClix group. You know, like, here's an Applebee's that's going to have half-price apps after 9 p.m.
Which this one did not, actually, we found out.
Oh, it didn't?
Disappointing.
All you can eat boneless wings, riblets, or shrimp, though.
Oh, well, that's good. I mean...
Yeah, they weren't, like, jacked up pricing like you would expect at, like, a resort, hotel style place.
No, it wasn't too bad.
If there's one thing that HeroClix players like the most are boneless wings. Like, I just feel like if you like polled like 100 Clix players, I would say 60% 60% would say boneless wings are life.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I will say, by like the end of day 2-ish, I was pretty much on the salad. I ate so much fried stuff in the first 2 days. I was like, I'm gonna keel over.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it didn't last long. Maybe a day. I was back on the fried food train.
Yeah. But the staff was much better than last year's, in my opinion. The setup, like the room for setup, was better. Yeah, I just felt the cheer was better.
It was my first Orlando event, so I have nothing to compare it to, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was a very, very well-run event.
Don't get
that
me
I would
wrong.
happily go back to.
I think it was very nice. I just I kind of just liked the first one better, but like, am I going to not go because if they're going to have it there?
First one, like the one at...
No. Last year.
Oh, because the first one had the best hotel.
Oh. No, last year was my first time going. So, but yeah, I didn't get to play until teams. I was being a mom because we ended up taking Mr. Theodore. So, we went to Disney a couple days, which I was nervous as a mom, taking a 4-year-old to Disney. But I loved every minute of it. So it was great.
That's awesome.
As I know you went to a couple parks, is that right? Because you went to Hollywood the day we did.
Yeah, we did Hollywood Studios the same day that you guys did. We did Epcot the day after, and then we did Universal Studios on the following Monday.
How was Universal? Did you like it?
I love Universal. I was there a couple years ago. You can really, like, if you kind of like know how to plan it out, you can do both Universal and Islands Adventure in one day with the Park Hopper Pass.
Yeah.
We got everything that we wanted.
You can cover a lot if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm a Universal guy, so...
Yeah, so we got everything done in one day, and that was even like, we got confused at which park closed first.
Okay.
So we ended up in Islands of Adventure as they were closing, coming from Universal Studios. Like, we started in Islands of Adventure and then went to Studios and then came back. But yeah, it's a really good 2 parks.
Cool. Yeah, we didn't do those, but me and Daniel are like really efficient people, and we thought back of what we did at Magic Kingdom, and like, we get the Genie Plus so we can do the lightning lanes. I think we lightning lane like 11 rides.
Yeah.
Nice.
We were able to capitalize our time there with a 4-year-old, which was amazing. So
Yeah, that's efficient.
But anyway, you guys played in the events. So if you guys want to talk about just a short thing about what you guys, I think you guys kind of went over that on the big show, but like if you just want to just summarize what you guys did, how you did, and we can kind of go through teams. And
Yeah, Nick, you played in the Apples and Oranges event, which I did not play in.
I did.
Yeah, you had this weird partner too. I mean,
Yeah, it was... We did okay. We just miscut, actually, if I remember right, but it was fun. That was my favorite event, I think, of the the whole weekend personally, but
Yeah. I do like how PJ, when he runs that, he tries to think some out of the box stuff. So it's not like you're like, okay, we're having a modern, a silver, and a teams. It's like, what kind of event can we have for fun? So
yeah.
that's nice.
I think 400 might have been, but I'm gonna say 400 always is probably, I think, too much for current HeroClix. But I mean, the theme, having the theme restriction and then pulp. Granted, I think 400 pulp is kind of nutty.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think you guys are having a good time. And congrats to George Massue and Clay Wood for winning that event.
Yeah. Two good guys. And then Saturday, you guys played in singles.
Yep.
I know
How did you do?
as I know you weren't too happy with everything, but you still rocking my world.
I mean, I went 3-2, so like I missed cut. Not by much though. I lost my winning end to Rob Olger, who came in second. Just some unfortunate dice for me on the weekend, and ended up playing a team that, while was good, was not good for me. So
Sometimes that's how the dice roll sometimes,
yeah, that's why I've said this before. It's like it's important to find a team that fits you, even if it's a good team. If it doesn't fit for you and like you feel like you're kind of struggling against it, it might be time to just kind of bail off of it.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Playing a very formationally like strict team for me is very like limiting, so it's not usually a good thing for me to play.
I mean,
Doesn't give me the room to be creative on the map.
yeah. Those are the kind of teams that I'm just like, if you make one mistake, you're going to feel it. If you place the wrong way.
Just one poor placement is all it takes to crumble.
Yeah.
Which is rough.
So
But then seeing players play them very well, in my opinion, it's like, wow, I would love to play that. It looks like a lot of fun. And then I play it, I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
yeah.
Yeah, like my other concern with it, like that I came to learn, is like not only like is it very like your window of opportunity for mistakes is very small. The team, if you make that mistake, has a very difficult time correcting and like making the comeback.
That's fair.
But the ultimate question asked, did you have fun?
Yes, I had a lot of fun because I just have fun playing HeroClix.
Okay. So
The team was a lot of work, like for me mentally, so I was pretty exhausted by the end of it.
yeah.
Mentally, but I mean, I just have fun playing HeroClix. The community just kind of gives me life.
That's good. And then Nick, how did you do?
I also finished 3-2.
Okay.
Didn't make cut. But I think placement was pretty wonky for everyone, at least like standing wise. Because it was one person that was 4-1 didn't make cut, if I recall.
No, that was teams.
That was teams.
Was that teams?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did too few rounds because they didn't realize how some of the matches were going to end up.
But no, I had fun.
That's good. That's
I
good.
played something that I worked on for a bit and thought was semi-original, so
I tell you
went for
what,
it. It was
I tell you what, like when I would go down there and like just kind of, bring Daniel water, just kind of like see how everything was going. There was a lot of new faces. A lot of new faces. I didn't know half that room. Now, I'm not good with names, but I can usually like remember faces.
Got a face.
So
on that note, like this is gonna probably sound a little conceited of me, and I don't mean it to come off that way, but when I know that the game, especially the competitive scene, is in a really good spot. When I go to these tournaments, I sit down across my opponent, I introduce myself, and they have no idea who I am. Like, I think that's really cool that we have like that many new people coming into competitive that either like don't listen to the podcasts and maybe after talking for a while they start to listen to them, or just are new to the scene that don't know some of the like the highly either highly decorated or highly like visible like names in the community. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I think it's a
that's very
great thing to have.
That's very true. I mean, it's just like when I sat across from Nick the first time in Tennessee, and he was like, and he was, well, no, I mean, he was just like, so have you been playing long? And I was like, you could say that. And I remember Tim sitting there, and he was like, he looked over like, oh, like, she's about to whoop your ass. Like, I mean, because Tim knew who I am, you know, but Nick was just kind of like, who's this girl? Like, I mean.
No, that's funny. Like, I mean, I knew who Dan was, but I hadn't done. I mean, I've only been playing again for, I don't even know how long. Month 2. Exit Sword Swap was when I started again, so long hiatus.
I mean, if you talk to people pre-Theo, like, people, like, almost feared me a little bit because, like, I was kind of mean sometimes because I was okay with saying, I'm not moving. Like, you're
that
gonna
has to feel nice.
I know Jalen Majors terrified of you.
Yeah. I mean, I told him one day, I looked straight up in his face and said, I'm just going to whip your ass. So, but Jalen and I have that. Like, we have that, you know, camaraderie of between us. And we've had some great games in the past. And, I mean, he's a phenomenal player. I wish we had him on our team. But, so.
There's still time for that.
I have that same relationship with Jalen. Him and I can just kind of banter back and forth at each other.
Yeah. And it's one of those, like, we've had some great, like, this is back in the day when, like, Lexington had those great events we would go to for rock. And, you know, like, we would play and it's like, you know, like, he would, like, crit miss and he'd be like, do you want to prod that for me? And I'm like, no. Or, like, I would, like, miss and I would be like, yo, dog, you want to help me out here? And he's like, no, I'm good. You know, like, we just had that fun, just chit-chat back and forth, and we help each other out. Like, there was one time I was like, Jalen, in all due respect, buddy, you probably don't want to move there. And he's like, oh, you right. I get you. And I'm like, I'm here to help you, dude. Like, I want to play the game. I just don't want to.
That's a demonstration of just what I love about the people that play this game at a competitive level is nobody's trying to fuck each other. Like, we want to beat our opponent at their best.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants. Well, the players that I highly respect don't
See,
want to win my
there's-
matches and fuck yous.
There's a caveat there. I would say the majority. I've encountered a couple.
Players that I respect.
Yeah, there you go.
And I think, like, I'll kind of use this as another platform where I've said it before on other shows, on this show, on Clixed Off, on the main show. Anybody who considers themselves a casual player that is, like, scared to get into competitive because they're worried that we're all just meta sharks and rule sharks and lawyers and we're going to try to screw you. The competitive scene is some of the nicest people in this fucking game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd much rather play in 300 Modern with the top players in the world, or just in the meta scene, than play in, like, a casual event. Like, I don't know. I've
had more bad experiences with casual, like, local players than tabletop players than I have with competitive players.
Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, again, that room had so many, like, there was a lot of local Florida people there. I mean, but there was a lot of new people. I know just the time I was down there, I had, a lot of people come to me and talk to me. I'm sorry if I didn't remember your names. I know that they listened to the show. They said they liked the Sudden Death show back, so really appreciate the feedback. We're just trying to do something fun for everybody. So, but I'm proud of you guys. I mean, going 3-2, that's a winning record. That's nothing to hang your hat on.
That's what I set. I set to get a winning record every tournament that I step into. Like, if I don't top cut, I just want a winning record. Yeah.
Going 3-2 is solid, So, in that field of play, I mean, it's definitely hard. And then we go to.
I think for me, if it's. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I just think I agree with Az, but I think for me, if I'm playing if I want to win something and I'm playing more meta, if I don't get cut, it might be a little more personal, to me. But if I'm playing something fun and unique to me, winning record's fine.
I get
More than enough.
The way I've approached it is like this game is so difficult, and there is like variance to it with the dice rolls. You can just get bad matchups. You can have bad dice luck in the game. You can just make a mistake because of how complicated things are. So I try not to take missing cut too personally and like too hard in this game. As long as I know I was there and I was able to I was in that running at a winning record.
Yeah. I mean, like I've always said, you could be the best player in the world with the best pieces, and it comes down to being a dice game, and it comes down to matchups. Like, every team has its weakness, every team has its, thorn that you don't want to sit across from, and sometimes that's the name of the game.
Yep.
I think one thing people think about as much anymore, or at least in my experience, is, unless you're winning, everyone loses at least once, right? So,
yeah.
If you don't learn from that, it's a personal issue. But
Yeah.
Everyone loses except for the winner. So,
Hey, I've learned more in my losses than I do in my winnings, because when you lose and you make that mistake, you're like, I'm not going to make that mistake again. Like, I remember early on in my career here playing HeroClix, I played one of my first tournaments. I was playing Lane Miller, and I was just starting to, get my feet wet going, and I just didn't know about Superman or Batman TA, the one that gives you stealth. Yeah. So here I am. I set up. I do my TK. I'm doing running shot, and I'm like, okay, I'm running shot. I get the police set, and Lane says, "Who are you shooting?" And I said, "I'm shooting this guy." And he's like, "You can't see him. He's got stealth." And I was like, I was like, okay. And he was like, "Do you want to take it back?" And I was like, no. I made the action. It wasn't like I was talking it through. I made the action. And then he proceeded to then just win the game. I gave it a fight, but it was one of those from that moment on, every time I about to make a move, I ask questions like, who's got stealth? What's going on here? It's like I learned from that moment. So, but yeah, then we had teams. I got to play. Woohoo! Thanks to Danielle. She did a great job for us watching Mr. Theo. So hopefully she had fun. I'm not sure if she did or not. But I played with Az and Daniel. Nick, you played with the Canadians. Is that correct?
I did.
Played with Steven and Asia.
Yep.
So Nick got to play with Cathan. So that was... Must be nice to pull a Cathan. So
it was.
You guys pull a Blackheart too?
We did. We did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we pulled the brick you guys wanted to pull, or at least the brick everyone wanted to pull.
We pulled half of the brick we wanted to pull.
Here's the thing: we are we're like, okay, we're ready to go. We're confident, and we open that brick and we're like, boom, there's the orange thing. Here's the Spirit Rider. We're good to go. Yeah, we got it. Daniel and Az's eyes were just like, let's go. And then we didn't pull a Blackheart and we didn't pull a Cathan. And it was like all the air depleted from our...
not pulling those two is detrimental, honestly.
I know Dan had pulled this story, but then PJ goes, "Who here didn't pull a Blackheart?" It's for him. And we're like, me and Dan are like, "Oh, maybe they're just gonna give us a Blackheart," because it's such a disadvantage to not have a Blackheart on one of the.
I remember when he called that out, and I was sitting there just holding Cathan, and they were building their teams.
And we were like,
and I was just like, he's handing out dice tokens, and I was like, I'll take my Cathan.
Are we gonna get a Blackheart?
Are you gonna be nice and just give us one?
No, it's funny.
But yeah, we finished 2-2. Sam, I think you personally went 2-2.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you did. And then I went. Me and Dan, I think, ended up at 3-1. Our teams were the two stronger of the two teams, and we kind of gave you probably the team we shouldn't have. I will take ownership for that one.
Here it is. They give like Az and Daniel. I'm like, just you two build teams that are like strong that you could like kind of carry us, you know, like.
Yeah.
And then they give me the most situational team. Yeah. Like I have to make sure I was like, okay, I haven't played in like 6 months here, guys, but that's cool. It's cool. I mean, my first game, I was like, all right, let's like sink or swim. We're gonna learn pretty damn fast right now. I enjoyed playing the team. It was challenging because, again, I had to learn really quick on just my actions, and I wanted to make sure I had like stealth and smoke cloud and my defend going into place, and yeah. But my last game, I'm still kind of salty about my last game, as I'm not gonna lie.
4 times in?
I crit missed 4 times in that game. I won that game 3 times over, but it's because he won because of Prime Sabretooth. Like everything else was dead on his team, but Prime Sabretooth.
Is Doc Sasquatch.
Sorry, Doc Sasquatch, not Sabretooth. Sorry. Yeah. It looked like it's a monster, you know.
Yeah. What's really interesting, and this is why I love the team sealed format so much. So I went back and like I was starting to think about it. Had our losses just lined up a little better, it was just like when I lost, Sam lost, or when Daniel lost, somebody else, like me or Sam lost. If we would have just had those line up a little bit better, we're actually X1, and we had a ton of points.
Oh yeah.
Like if we're X1, we're in with the amount of points we had.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love the team sealed format so much. I think it's such a good format. It's so fun. And just like being able to like kind of ride off the backs of your teammates is, you know, maybe you had a bad game, but you know your teammates kind of pulled you through it.
Yeah.
There with TJ and with you and Dan now twice, like it's just so good.
I like team sealed. I tend to always.
In my opinion, it's the best format in here.
I'm telling you what, I'm gonna play a team sealed while I actually get a good team, because I always feel like I get like the leftovers.
No. Last year at Florida, you and Dan got the good teams. I got the leftovers.
Oh yeah, that's true. But you did, yeah, that's true. Well, we kind of had. Well, Daniel just took Thanos. Daniel just took.
No, I gave Dan Thanos. I'm like, you're playing it.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I liked our teams the last year. I mean, we had a good time this time. It's just for what we pulled, I thought we battled very well.
I agree.
We always stayed near the top of the tables. We were there with the best of the best. It's just
one of your losses was Scott. Like, no slouch of a player.
Well, Scott had like a stacked team. Like,
Scott's team was also very good.
Scott's team was just like, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get through this. And I was just kind of like, all right, I'm here to score some points and hoping that somebody can, like, my 2 guys can pull me through this. But Scott had a very, like, when you sat across of it, you're like, okay, it's not too bad. But then when you saw how it played, you're like, that's sick. Like,
just works.
It just worked. Orb is awesome.
Orb is nutty.
Oh my gosh.
Really good.
Yeah.
And then I had to play against Ed AB playing
Chthon.
And like I played, that was probably the fastest turns of HeroClix I've ever played. And I'm generally a pretty quick player. But I need to get as many turns out of this game as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't hit a 10. Like I couldn't get a 10 to stick, which is tough. Granted, but I had 2 probs. But if I hit the 10, then I think I actually have a legit chance of killing Chthon.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was running Zarathos Prime Voodoo. Prime
nice.
Voodoo just can just shred Chthon. But you gotta hit a 10.
Yeah.
And that's the Chthon thing, is like you gotta hit a big number, and you sometimes have to hit it twice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, overall, I thought Florida was great.
Yeah, Nick, how did you do?
Yeah.
We also went 2-2, and we did have quite a bit of points, but again, we didn't make cut there.
I still think
It was a lot of fun.
I still think having a 4-1 miss, that was
It was very unfortunate. That's not what they wanted for sure.
That's just like, man.
Wait, I mean, I'm
And
3-2.
like,
That's
by
what I
the
meant to
time
say.
they realized it was happening, teams had already dropped and players had left.
Yeah.
So it's not like they could just go and add another round of Swiss.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dang. Oh, I would have been. Do we know what team was that last team that got bumped out?
I don't remember.
No, I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah.
But congratulations to 4 points for
Yeah.
winning that event.
Yeah.
Ed, Isaac, and Scott.
Scott had a really strong team. I played against it.
So did Isaac and Ed. Like that, their 3 teams were very good.
Yeah.
I would also go back, since we were talking about singles. I didn't, say shout out and congratulations to Alex Mater for winning the 300 modern singles with his symbiote Prime Spidey team.
Prime Spidey making his waves again.
Yep.
I think
Rob Olger's Defenders team in the finals there.
When Daniel came up, he said, "I lost to Rob," and I was like, "Is that the Rob that plays Merlin? Like, is that the Rob or?"
Yeah, it wasn't playing Merlin.
And then I was like, do I ask in the chat, like, was he playing Merlin? Because, like, I didn't want to, like, throw salt into the wound. I was like, like, this is going to be a good podcast if Merlin got into finals. But
yeah, I watched the games, Dan's game against Rob. It was a very good game, very, very close. Dan actually kind of, like, lost on last action. That's how close it was.
yeah. But
no, he didn't play Merlin because Merlin's trash and he knows it.
whoa, those are fighting words, as
Bold statement.
You ain't gonna fight me with Merlin, I'll tell you that.
So anyway, Florida was great. I had a great time. I'm hoping we could go next year, but with Theo being in school, I'm just not sure. But anyway, what a month full of news.
February has been chock full of news.
I mean, we went from like zero communication to now it's like we have. Well, I mean, we already knew about Adepticon, right? So, or kind of. So it was like, all right, we have Adepticon in Chicago. I mean, Clixed Off is representing pretty heavily at Adepticon, so we're gonna bring home the win.
We have the return of Tyler.
Yes, the Tyler came back out of the blue, out of the depths of.
Really, really good.
Yes.
Back and being communicative in our chat.
Been very invested, and I think he's kind of like realizing like. Kind of like all of our frustrations over the last year. Like, he's like, so what's this piece do? And we're like, the guys are like, it does this. And he's like, what? Like,
yeah. Watching Tyler come to the realization about Scott Porter has been very, very fun to watch.
yes.
That was fun.
So, but yeah, so then we had Rock Cup, and we had Rock Cup news come out. And of course, you had all the, I don't want to say drama, but it was one of those, it's like the rock points.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to rock points? Are they transferable? Are they...
No, they're not transferable, but you can buy them.
So, yeah, apparently you can just buy them. So, they take away, like... I mean, I had 304 points, and then I'm going to go down to 50. So...
Yeah, I mean, Dan and Lucas had almost 900.
Yeah, they're going down to 100. Yeah.
100? Yeah, geez, that's such a swing.
Yeah, it just kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, I just straight up like asked Howard, like, hey, can I just like, cause I thought if I can't go to Rock Cup, I'm just going to lose everything. I'm going to go down to 0. So I was like, look, like, can I just, my 50 points, can I just give to somebody? Like, you can just put from like 0 Sam and then say, give Nick my 50 points. And they were like, no, because we don't want to do anything electronic or something like that. Like, I'm like,
Get with times.
Okay.
Sorry.
Like, I think that's the easiest thing. Like, if I email you and say, I, Sam Powell, transfer my rock points to John Smith, you know.
There's minus 50 on Sam and plus 50 on John. Like,
yes.
It's not that hard.
It's, but apparently I'm going to get mailed by 50, so I guess I'll keep them until next year.
Okay. I think the big news coming out of February, though, is we have a new organized play manager from WizKids, I believe.
Yes.
I don't know if that's his official title, but I cannot remember his name for the life of me, and I feel bad. But he used to be a contractor with Gen Con, running their events. And he's been opening up a bunch of forums for surveys and questioning, you know, looking for feedback. And there's a lot of hope on the horizon. The actual WizKids local organized play might be coming back sooner than a lot of us thought, because a lot of us thought it was never coming back.
I love it. I like, you can actually like see that there's more talk from WizKids about HeroClix. I mean, there for a while it was just D&D.
Nothing.
And Onslaught. Nothing HeroClix.
They're being very vocal.
It's great to see it. Like, it's very, very good to see.
It's so good to see. And I'm hopeful. I hope that we continue this trend of let's keep the communication going. Let's keep this. We want events. We want to play. I know Rock is doing Silver Age. There's mixed feelings on that, but it is what it is. I kind of like having 2 different formats just because it's not just all modern. So if you want to play the older stuff, you can play the older stuff. And, I mean, it's like Popper. Some people don't like Pop or, yeah. But you know, like, you teach their own. Another thing we had is they announced Worlds dates. Like,
That's super early.
It is February, and we have dates for Worlds. Like,
Which is crazy.
I know, when Daniel, like, put that in the chat, I was like, what? Of course, you know.
I thought it was a joke at first. I was like, there's no way that we have dates.
No way. So, yeah, that's exciting. I mean, I think I think all of the talk has finally got to them. Like, we need, like, if you want attendance to be there, people have lives and people have work, and we've got to know in advance.
Yeah, they got to put the work in for us to want to put the work into them. Like,
That's true. Very true. So,
sorry, I kind of cut you off there, Nick. What were you?
Oh no, I just think it's I don't know, kind of a breath of fresh air.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And anybody that a couple of points here. Anybody that is not following the WizKids HeroClix page, that's where Ralph, that's his name. I went and looked it up. Is posting a lot of these surveys. So please go in. You know, give them as much feedback as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Keep requesting for these organized play events, the return of WKOs, things like that. And for anybody that has never been to Worlds and never been down to Graceland, time is not, like, didn't have enough time is no longer a reason to not go, and I highly recommend anybody go. It's a really, really fun weekend. Even if you're not going to play in the main event, play in Team Sealed, play BRs, play side events. It's just such a good time to really get indoctrinated into the community, which the amount of games that I have played, the HeroClix community is the best one on the planet.
Well, here's my thing. It's like, it's just HeroClix. I mean, they may have some, like, Onslaught but it's just HeroClix. Like, when you go to Gen Con or back in the day Origins, like, you had other events you may wanted to try or play in. But this is just HeroClix. So, like, if you don't really want to play in the competitive scene, you can go there and just be with the community and play fun games. And
Yep.
they have all those fun formats and the side events, and
there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you could play 3 days.
Like, there are plenty of people that go and just play BRs all week.
Yeah.
And I fit them in whenever I could, and it was fun every time. And, like, they don't stop either. They're every hour, yes?
Roughly, yeah.
I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were trying to fire him off as soon as they had enough people, like, to fit one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely worth going. I mean, Az knows, but I'm probably not going to be there.
Yeah.
Gosh, it sucks so bad. Like, it hurts my heart. It really does.
This is going to be our potentially first year of sudden death team.
I know. I just, it really bothers me. I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm a definite no, but it's going to be really hard.
Even if you can't go, we are going to be team sudden death, and whoever plays with us has to accept that.
I just have to accept it.
I will be there for what it's worth, so keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
I live 2 hours away, so it's easy for me.
Yeah. I'll be driving down with my girlfriend again. We drove
Nice.
down last year. It's a really nice drive for us. It's like 10 hours or so, but
That's not bad.
Kind of spend time with each other in the car, listen to music, talk about gaming stuff. Sir and I are a bunch of D&D games together, so we get to talk about what our characters are doing and what our characters are thinking and stuff like that. It's a fun weekend. It's just a blast.
I commend you for being in a car with your significant other for longer than that, for that long a period. I have found out that I could probably do about 6 to 8 hours with Daniel, and I'm like, all right, I'm done.
I'm pretty sure all of us could only take 6 to 8 hours.
There was one point Daniel was like, we were talking about our anniversary, and he said we should take off 2 weeks and drive to Alaska and back. And I'm like, I would kill you by Wisconsin. I mean,
specifically Wisconsin.
We wouldn't make it that far, buddy. I'm gonna fly there.
I'll meet you there. You drive there. I'll meet you there.
You have fun.
Yeah, I mean, her and I obviously got along. We're driving to Chicago together. We're driving down to Huntsville for Hot Cup. We're driving to Worlds. We just enjoy traveling with each other.
Hey, that's good. That's good. So,
actually, when we were talking about Adepticon, I was originally looking at just flying, because flights were $200 to $300 from Pittsburgh, and I was running things by her of hey, do you think I can make this work financially? She looked at me and I'm like, are you mad that I'm going to do this? She's like, no, I'm mad you didn't ask me to go.
It's the best outcome you could hope for.
Yeah, for sure.
We just gotta get her playing.
So she won't play because the game is way too complicated for her. Even if you ask her, she will say she is terrible at games. But she loves the community. Worlds was her first experience with them, and she's like, I love these people.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I mean, again, we've had a lot of great news. I think Rock Cup's going to be great. I think Adepticon's going to be great. So, going into that, you guys are going to Adepticon. I'll let you guys kind of talk about what that's going to entail and what that looks like for you guys, and kind of if you want to talk about teams that you're thinking about. I know that Az is a little salty about next phase, but he's going to have to get over it.
We'll get the elephant out of the room first. The major thing that coming out of Adepticon over the last week or so is we've come to the realization and understanding that there's a 98% chance that next phase will not be legal for Adepticon, which to me is really a disservice to the set itself, because that means it's not going to have a modern age event for itself. it's going to be Nationals, and that's after Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine are going to come out. So, like, I feel that kind of sucks. And, like, if they could just push the release up a week, that means we could actually play with it. And, you know, I'm not biased or anything. I'll play Wong really bad.
Definitely.
Just wants to play Wong. He just wants to play with his Wong.
I just want to play with my Wong.
I just
want
want
to play with Wongers.
Like I said in the pre-show a little bit that I'm not going to Adepticon, but as a wife of someone that's going and there's a piece in the set that he would really need, my pocketbook is kind of happy that it's not going to be legal, just because he's not going to be like, I'm going to have to spend $200 on this piece. Like, I have to have it, you know, like, when reality is probably just going to be like $100 piece, you know, like nothing, because everything's going to be inflated. Like, if it was going to be legal, even like the week before, everything would be inflated because people would know they would want it for Adepticon.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, I remember when the Black Panther and the Illuminati set came out, and Theo was born, and it was released the week before Nationals, and I mean, everybody was like, we've got to have these gems. Like, I've got to have the stuff. I mean, we bought a lot of that set before Nationals, you know? But anyway.
But I mean, I know Nick is super on the ook monkey train.
So happy about it. I mean, for me, other than, at least so far, other than the avatars for the next set, there's not much I really want to play from that. I don't think so. I'm not too worried about it, but I am sad that Az can't play Wongers.
Wongers and Madison, not the Chase.
I know, not the Trace.
The rare Madison is super good.
She looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Jerk Arrow looks like fun, but beyond that, for me, it's.
Sure. I'm definitely not like I'm a little happy I don't have to worry about, you know, figuring out what trick arrows really do. I haven't super looked into them that much. I understand their basic concepts, but
There's nothing
like 10
crazy. I will say the little the Groot traces, the baby Groot traces, look like fun.
Shifting focus baby Groot seems pretty solid.
Yeah, like there's a couple of fun things in here, but like I might buy a brick. I don't think I'm gonna buy a full case, and I'll just buy what I want out of it individually.
Yeah.
I told Daniel that
like,
if the group chases, like, once the set comes out and it kind of dies down, if the group chases get to be reasonably priced, I want some for my desk.
sure.
Just because they're super cute, man.
Yeah, they're adorable.
And the new chase that we just recently saw has a a trait called From the Top Rope, and it's hilarious.
Wait, which one is that?
I think it's the one of the chases. Hang on,
What's
see
it?
if it's on units.
Oh, off the top rope.
Off
Yeah,
the top
correct.
rope, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then
Quake is free.
And then did we get an
Groot's
ultra
going to
chase?
run wild on you.
The ultra chase looks
There's
pretty
the
cool.
chase, Kevin. I don't know if he's like competitively viable, but he's pretty good.
He's pretty good. I can see somebody making that team that makes him work. Now, is it going to be like top tier? No, but there's going to be somebody that makes him work. And
I mean, he's a solid support piece. Like, he's got Robot, which is great.
mm-hmm.
Oh, he's got Robot. Oh, never mind. He's not going to be legal for Adepticon.
Ash just had a moment there, people. He just had a moment. He was like, wait a minute. I might have to find an ultra chase.
As far as like teams go, I mean, I think like certain teams where we know we're going to be looking out for, especially with next phase not being a thing. I think you might see some variation of the Double Carnage Surfer team that was successful, maybe even Defenders, or just more Super Ghost Rider. I think Kong will be very popular, just because a lot of people seem really excited about him.
Mm-hmm.
Can't imagine why.
I've got a couple of teams right now that I'm currently going to start playtesting and see kind of where I'm at.
I'm excited. I mean, there's
Nick,
how many Clixed Off people are going? Have we counted?
so it's me, Nick, Alex, Tyler, Jason, Dan.
6?
I don't think TJ is going. Yeah, I think it's 6 of us.
Wow,
Good showing.
Very good showing.
that's insane.
But I'm really excited, like, just to get back into competitive clicks.
Mhm.
They opened up more spots, so I think we're up to 40 players.
48, I believe.
Did they open it up to 48?
I think so. It went from 32 to 40 to 48.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I think currently now our push is to try to get them to do top 16 instead of top 8. So we'll see if that happens. But if there's any spots open, and anybody's looking to go into Adepticon, yeah, jump in.
It should be a fun event. I'm actually excited to have a little bit of downtime and kind of browse around and, I don't know, do some demos and have fun with it.
Like, her and I are going to get in, planning on leaving after Thursday, driving as much as I can, and then stop, get a cheap motel or something, and then finish the drive on Friday, which I wasn't originally planning to do. I was planning on driving in Friday night, but getting there Friday early means maybe I can jump in a supercharged sealed or a VR or something like that, and look at getting maybe some of these new con LEs that I want an old King Thor really bad, but I don't even know what he does. He's probably terrible because his name is Thor.
Yeah, they hate Thors. I mean,
HeroClix hates Thor.
I'm kind of hoping. I want the King Arthur, with a 3000 AD. I'm hoping that's fun. That's something I want to pick up if I can.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll find out what this broadsword construct does.
cool.
I mean, hopefully it's useful.
I hope it's not an actual construct.
No, that would be irritating if it was.
Agreed.
And then I'm sure you guys are gonna go have some meat sweats, right?
We do have Brazilian steakhouse on the docket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the menu.
You guys are gonna be like, I don't even know. I almost can't go with you guys to Brazilian Steakhouse. It almost makes me sick. I love you guys, but man, it's when we went to Indy.
I feel a little bad. Danielle doesn't eat a lot of red meat. She doesn't just really like it. But she's gone with me to a Brazilian steakhouse before, and she's like, "I'll just get I'll eat a little bit." And I'm like, I'm gonna pay for you to go and you eat whatever you want, but
they have chicken there. They have chicken and pork.
They have really good chicken.
Yeah, they have chicken and pork, and I know when we go to the one in Columbus, the Rodigios or something like that.
Yeah.
They have the pineapple, and I'm telling you, I could pretty much eat a whole pineapple. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I think we're doing Tejas de Brazil.
Yeah.
The one
Is that what we're doing?
We're doing in Chicago.
You guys are going to have so much fun.
Oh, it's going to be so fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I'll be on my way to the Smoky Mountains. At that time.
On the way to the Smoky something.
Smoky something.
Hey.
But
yeah, I'm excited for Adepticon. I'm pretty, I'm sure Nick is.
I've never been, so I'm looking forward to it.
Fairly big miniatures convention, so that'll be cool.
Yeah. So, real quick, I just thought, it was this week that WizKids, I don't know if anybody else caught it, but they announced that they're going to do a lantern set. A set that's, was it yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
It's not like they came out and was like, Nick's set, it's lantern. It was basically in the wording. It said, upcoming set will be lantern theme. So, to all those...
Yeah, that was their, what do you want to call it? The
Easter
I'm trying to
Easter egg?
But the fan survey internship thing.
Yes. I think they...
I forget the name of the person who runs it, but...
I think that'll be exciting. I'm hoping that they do it well. I feel like they tried to do that a little bit with this last. We had those chases that were with the lanterns, but I don't think it went over that well. So
yeah, they were fine. I don't know, but they weren't crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I started playing right at the end of War of Light. And I feel like War of Light was a pretty good set. Like, it was fun. Now, did I like the orange battery? No, I absolutely hated it. But I think that overall it was just a fun set. So hopefully they kind of do something like that with this. But so Nick went to a regional. It was the first of the rock series of the Silver Age, the new format that they're promoting. For those listening, you don't know, imagine you can go back and read a bunch of stuff on it. They're doing this 400 Silver Age. That 200 points has to be of the Silver Age form pieces, and then the rest modern, at least 200 points. So if you want to do 395 in silver and 5 in modern, you can. But I know there's been a lot of chatter about it. Some people don't like it, some people do. I had mixed feelings, but I'll let Nick talk about his experience, what he saw, and kind of go over what you didn't see that you thought you would have saw.
That's fair. I think touching on that, mixed feelings for me as well. I think 400 point silver is quite a lot, but I think it has potential to be fun. Like, I enjoyed what I was playing.
I think if they're going to stick with 400 points, they need to seriously look at considering increasing the round timer.
Yeah, that's not unreasonable. I will say, I think the games that I was in and the games that I saw were more aggressively played. So I don't think for this, many people, were barricading in and running out of time. I think every game, except for one of mine, hit time, but all my wins were pretty much in my favor, like to a good amount. But I think a little more time would have definitely changed outcomes. I think for the better on both sides too. A lot of things weren't doable for either team in my games.
I feel like it's like the barrier issue. It's just like with 400 points, you just have so many more figures doing so many more things. It just eats up so much more time. And
it does.
I'd love to see them increase round timer at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, I kind of.
No, I agree.
Talking about the event.
No, it was fun though. I got to play something that we worked on for a bit, and Agatha is one of my favorite pieces to play, so that was a good time. Teams were kind of expected. I feel like there were a few that were unique and not in my wheelhouse for practice wise, but I will say Wesley Summers playing his Hall of Armor team was fun to see. I think overall, though, nothing was too one-sided. Like, Blackhearts would probably be what I would think ran the field. But that's kind of to be expected, I feel like.
How many teams ran many Wendigos?
I think 2 teams ran multiple Wendigos. I played against... I want to say it was my second game. Was against Josh Parlin, I think it was. He's one of the Gulf Coast guys. And he ran... I think his team's actually on units real quick. He had a huge team, and it was double Wendigo, Groot, and double Colossal Carnage with Immortal Hulk, Porter, Commissioner, and Camo. So that team was fun. We had a good game there. Yeah. But I think he had the majority of the Colossals. A lot of teams had 1 or 2, and he had the 5.
Man.
Yeah, that's surprising to me. That's less than I would expect.
Yeah, I will say I thought there would be more, especially with, recent events having Wendigos do really well. But yeah, no Wendigo Blackheart deployment, which I kind of wanted to see.
Man.
Because I didn't play it, so.
Yeah, I thought that would have been one of the top teams kind of going in. So.
I thought so too. I want to try it, but I was really hoping to see one of the teams running it because I wasn't. Again,
Did anybody play Thanos?
I don't think so.
Nobody in the top 8 played Thanos. Play that.
Yeah,
More
that's for sure.
in the top 8 than there were Thanos.
Gotcha.
Which is funny.
I mean, Thanos was really good.
How many people did you
Yeah.
get to rune with Agatha?
I assume everybody.
I think only 2 games I dropped rune all day.
Oh wow, she's solid.
didn't
She's
have-
solid either way. Like even as
I will say, in all of my games, I mean, she's hard to kill. Her dial's deep, and I protect her well, so she didn't die in any of my games. But I think so. Going 5-1, I think 2 of those 6 games I ruined,
wow.
which
Did
was
you play
nice.
against this beast Lady Roma team?
I didn't. That was the one team I wanted to play against.
This
No,
team-
yeah, that was Alex's team, I think.
Yeah, Alex
No.
Shepard.
I only heard people that he beat be like, "Wow, that sucked."
Yeah, that's really cool. I like this team.
Yeah, I think him and Wes's were the most fun, I think, in original.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I'll state about competitive players, and I had this talk with somebody else ago. Everyone thinks that like competitive meta players are meta slaves, and we're just going to play the best stuff. No, most HeroClix players just play what they like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They
I mean-
play what's fun.
I feel like you need like some kind of, I don't know how I'd word that, I guess, but win component. But beyond that, like you can play what you want
Yeah,
to an extent, of course. But seeing Beast played was cool. It's one of my favorite figures of all time.
it's the first time I've ever seen Lady Roma in a competitive event.
I've never seen one played either, but
And that's,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the name of the game with silver, though. It's kind of nice
yeah,
to see.
you never know.
So
Oh yeah, my favorite Prime Wonder Woman, the vampire one. Love that Prime Wonder Woman.
who ran that one?
That was Nathaniel.
Oh, did he run that one?
Yeah, with a Minotaur.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's running Venom Wolverine. This
Wait,
Yeah.
I didn't play him either.
yeah, there
but-
was a Venom Wolverine in there, and I was like, "Let's go!"
this team's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I always get paired against Nathan, or Nathaniel, but for this one I didn't.
I have to say, so like, I mean, I don't know. They posted the picture of like the first picture of like round 1 or whatever, and I look at the picture and I'm like, who is on a Clixed Off shirt? Like, I mean, when I first glanced at them, I was like, who is that? And I was like, who's got long curly hair? Like, I was like,
Oh,
that was Alex.
Yeah, we haven't seen Alex.
We haven't seen him in a long time. I was like, whoa, okay. So, but
Yes, you had a good time at in Silver.
yeah, I had a lot of fun. I got to play Doom Swap, which was a first for me, and it's so much fun.
I think Doom Swap in Silver is fantastic. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
had a blast with
I
it.
told Daniel, like, I kind of want to go to Columbus to play in Jay's event just to have some fun. Not that I'm going to Rock Cup or anything, but like, and I was like, what do we still have that I could play? Like, I mean, granted, we have a whole room full of HeroClix, so I could pick something. But I was like, are you going to want to play with Doom Swap? He's like, I don't think so. I mean, maybe. I don't know. And I was like, well, just keep that on the back burner that I want to play it. So,
Nick, I have to ask, how many opponents did you make sad that tried to spawn a construct for free and you told them they're not allowed to?
Oh, so many.
Oh, it's so good.
I had limiting. That wasn't even a word. Limiting them to 4 actions, and then Porter plus a construct taking 2 of the 4 is undervalued so much.
Only has celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so good.
Undervalued.
You know what that reminds me of back in the day? When you play Lord Doom to stop the Pogs.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, well, I had him sidelined, but never ran him.
Well, I mean, like, the likelihood of you running him now is very, very slim. But, like, the combo of the 2 is what it used to be with Lord Doom. But because, you know, you had Maggot and all that stuff out there that dropped all these Pogs. So now it's like, nope, you don't get to make constructs. Like,
no. Is Scott Porter's bad day.
I think so too. But I will say the Doom, the all caps, was hands down MVP of the whole day.
He's so good.
Did you ever triple flurry anybody?
I did. I got it off a couple of times.
Nice.
So I had one game where I played against the 2x2 300 points Juggernaut. And he had a Tri-Sentinel that I overextended for. We were on a small map, and I didn't want my team to get blown up, so I overextended Agatha a little bit to get the kill. And he managed to one-tap my Agatha, which I didn't see coming. But I still won that game, 400 to 100. So Doom and one of the Groot bystanders, the Walking Woods, one-turned his 300-point Juggernaut. It was so much fun. Walking Woods got the kill, so I had a blast with that.
Now, Nick, did you enjoy the Walking Woods that we sent?
Oh, they got so many compliments.
Okay, because Daniel was like, "Hey, could you go get Nick's stuff like out of my box?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "And he needs a Groot." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I'm like, "He's gonna need Walking Woods." And I was like, "I'm gonna give him some cool Walking Woods." And Daniel was like,
I never asked how you guys.
And Daniel was kind of like, "No. I think we bought them like." They're like they come from those like, not D&D, but those other little sets or whatever. Like the ones I have in my box, they look like miniature baby Groots, and they're so fun. Okay. I loved them when I played, but I couldn't find those.
Those are just like full size tree ends. I love them.
Yeah,
which now I have to find some for myself. But I will say, High Evo with Power Gem was so much fun. He put in so much work.
Yes.
I mean, High Evo is just such a good 30-point character.
Yeah, I mean,
he's so good.
He's got. Does he have EE? Is that the one with the EE?
No, he has Pen Blast.
Yeah.
Pen Blast.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's an 11 for a 3 with prob and a 7 range dual target, and a stop click for 30 points.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can just go out there.
Power Gem, he's hitting 12 for 4. Like for 40 points essentially, but
wow, he's almost like necessary for all those colossals. You remember, like just going out there and sending to shoot a couple colossals.
He did, yeah. He killed quite a bit.
I'll shed some of my. I've built a lot of silver teams recently, even though I'm not a huge fan of them.
We know you love it, ass. It's fine.
I gotta be prepared for Rock Cut. If I could guarantee that I would play against Colossal Swarms every round, I am no joke looking at playing Regent.
Yes.
240-point Regent. Because I can pulse wave all of the 2x2s on any map.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I can't guarantee that you're going to play against that, so I can't play that team.
I think you'll see more Colossals than you think. I just loved playing Colossals. It's just at a different depth to the game, you know?
Yeah. I'm very happy with what I've decided to start playtesting for Silver. I'm playing Ultra Chase Thanos.
Nice.
Absolutely. I love your team, Az. I love it.
Yeah. I have a lot of reps with Ultra Chase Thanos. I played him at the first Worlds he was legal in. I did pretty well in that event, and that was back in the Vulture days. So now he's just kind of got some more fun stuff, and he gets to equip every gem.
Yeah.
That's so sick. Oh man.
But no, overall, super well-run event. Aaron did a great job.
Good.
It was very streamlined, went very, very quickly.
That's awesome. That's good to hear, because I'm hoping that this kind of takes off and we get some more events. And I know that Howard's really trying to push like Rock Winamaps and everything like that. But hopefully we get some more of, like, I know we want to call it a regional, but man, back in the day we just had like super qualifiers, like maybe a little cheaper, or I don't know. I don't know the pricing structure. I don't know if anybody knows the pricing structure, but it'd be nice to get back to the good old days of Rock. Have more events. So
yeah, if it's something we do, like regionally down here, I would go to them when possible. I had a good time.
Yeah. Well, we had some questions. I know that we asked this question a long time ago, because if you're listening to this, sorry about the delay in recording. We were supposed to record, and then life happened, and then I got sick, and I had like no voice for like a week. So thanks to Az and everybody to be patient with me. So Peter Marshfield asked, first question, I think it's already asked on the episode Az was on, a guest on. We're looking at tarot cards. What do you focus on? Do you prefer cards that don't help or hurt you? Do you prefer a specific card that you always play? Or are there cards that you feel like should be getting played and they are not getting played?
I'll let you guys give your inputs, since I definitely have answered the question before, but I'm happy to repeat my thoughts.
I'll let you go first, Nick.
I think for me, I lean more towards less harmful versus, more helpful. But I will say for the teams that I tend to play, a lot of tarot helped me and not my opponent. So I've had pretty good luck with my tarot decks.
Cool.
I don't play star, things like that. I have really bad luck with that kind of stuff. So if it's going to hurt me, it likely will. So I try to avoid that. Yeah.
I'll go by saying this. I think tarot cards should cost points, because they do change the game. It should be 10 points. Just be like an equipment or something back in the day. Like 10 points. If you want to play tarot card, 10 points.
I always wondered why they wouldn't. Rarity. Some do way more than others. I don't know. In my head, that makes sense. But
yeah, that's true. I can see that too. But like you said, do you always play like the Queen of Wands? It's like I try, when I think of my tarot deck, I'm trying to think what can help me, but also I don't like to play the star, like you said, Nick, because it's inevitable. It'll always hurt me before it helps me. But the Queen of Wands, I love that card, but and it's one of those, if I have it up on my side that helps me, but I'm trying to attack somebody and I know that it's potentially going to help them, I may not be in attack mode that turn, if that makes sense. I might just kind of readjust my turn a little bit, because I know hey, this piece has got super senses, and now I'm giving them a 4, 5, 6 instead of a 5, 6.
Or a 3 through 6.
Or a 3 through 6 because of
teams these days.
Yeah. So it's one of those, I may just adjust my turn. So, really good question. Haven't seen the results from Champion Click, so they're figures that were standouts.
Carnage Surfer, not really a standout, but we kind of expected it, but he was all...
Porter's MOE.
Yeah.
A few Prime Spider-Man, I guess.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider was big.
True.
That was one that was definitely seen more.
Jennifer Kale paired with that, I guess.
Jennifer Kale, I think I was playing her.
Really?
I think I was the only one playing her.
I don't know. She's so strong.
The problem with her is Porter. Like, Porter's just so good against her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then
Ghost Rider is definitely my standout that weekend. And Daredevil plus Nifty Traffic Barrel.
Oh, that's a great combo. Which I still think is undervalued. Like, that should be at more games.
A lot of people don't understand how it works.
Yep. And that's okay. They can stay that way.
I was about to go like meta advice from Az and then have him chime in.
Basically, the way it works is the Nifty Traffic Barrel shuts off movement within 4 squares of it. Its effect is still active while it's being carried. So they have Daredevil pick up the Nifty Traffic Barrel and just walk him around. This is Legacy Daredevil, Legacy Bike Devil, and he's just an annoyingly hard to kill figure that's shutting off improvement. It's just really annoying.
Oh man!
You don't realize how good it is until you're sitting across from him.
And then he asked, final question: is there a meal or food that you always have the night before an event? Do you have like a lucky pair of socks, or do you have like a preferred beverage the day of the tournament? TJ is probably the most superstitious of our entire team.
It's him and I are definitely like at the same level.
Okay, TJ wears like the same underwear, shorts, shirt. He probably like labels his socks to know which one's the left foot and the right foot. I'm like, he is.
He and I had mostly the same clothes that we wore this Worlds that we had for the Worlds that we won. We had to do the same breakfast. We had the same like sleeping arrangements.
Yeah, whenever you guys talked about Worlds, and like Az immediately we said, and I'm rooming with TJ.
Yeah, we were talking about who's going to Worlds. I'm like, I'm rooming with TJ.
I don't care, but I'm rooming with TJ. Like, that's how superstitious these guys are.
Well, and then it even comes back to like TJ and I. The first time that we had really met was the Worlds where we had won and teamed together. Him and I became like super close over that weekend, and like him and I just became very, very good friends. Like we have a lot in common. So like I just love like hanging out with TJ.
I've always loved TJ from back in the day of the RKO shirt. He's my RKO guy. Nick, do you have like a food or a drink that you have to have like the night before or the morning of? Like, are you taking shots of like vodka in the morning or?
Oh, no, I don't drink vodka. But caffeine's one for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I survive on coffee. So no, I try to eat well, honestly. Protein bars between the day.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I don't play well when I'm hungry, and I think your mental game kind of slips when you don't eat for 10 hours.
That's very true. Yeah. You get hangry and you get annoyed and.
Yep.
I always try to have a Coke Zero. I love Coke Zero. That's my thing. I always try to get a Coke Zero before a tournament. Just my thing.
Yeah. That and water.
I still remember I was pregnant with Theo and I was playing against Jeremy Stallings in a tournament, and my sugar tanked. I mean, like, to the point where I almost had to just, like, forfeit. And we were playing at Owensboro, and I remember, like, looking at, I think it was Jason that was judging, or Jason was helping Daniel, and I was like, I need something to eat, or I'm going to pass out. And, like, they were okay with, like, pausing the timer to get me, like, I got, like, a candy bar or something just to, like, eat because my sugar just tanked. So I always tend to always have some sort of snack in my bag, like M&Ms or something. That way I can, like, always grab on the go.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
I generally usually I drink a Monster, like on our way over to the venue. One of the Monster Zero Sugars. And I try to drink water throughout the event. Driving to the events like we do, my girlfriend and I, we go to Sam's Club before we leave. and we just get like snacks and stuff for the room. So like last year for Worlds, I had a big thing of cashews. I had peanut butter filled pretzels, just to like snack on throughout the day, and I noticed a world of difference doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Where I wasn't normally like I get headaches like really bad if I don't like eat and drink during events. I wasn't feeling bad at all, which was great. It was a good feeling.
Yeah. Lou, I don't really know about your question, but
well, is this a burp or fart question?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just on every show.
Yeah, we'll just politely decline to answer that one.
I will impolitely decline.
Of course, Anthony Barnstable, he, says, where's Dan? How was the Champion Clixed 2024? We talked about that already. Things we hope to see improve. I don't think there's really much for improvement. I think it's ran very well. It's one of those that's like, it's almost like it would be cool if it was like a week long, like every day was something, because you just want to play more, but then you can't be down there for a whole week. That'd be insane.
That's.
So then, what are we
I
looking?
will touch it.
What are you looking forward to at the Rock Championship? So you guys are going. So is there something you're looking forward to the most?
Teams.
Teams.
Yeah, teams will be fun. I don't know. I'm excited for my team. I've made some changes already since last week or whatever, but I think, I think overall, as long as it's a fun event, I'm cool with it. But
yeah, I'm hoping we get an announcement and an explanation of what the formats are going to be. We know there's a teams format. I've never really played Team Constructed, so I'm really excited to experience that. But knowing if it's going to maintain the same format that it was for the past years of Team Constructed Extreme Highlander, which I think would be a very smart idea because it pushes team building in a direction, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, what team gets Scott Porter? Do you get both Scott Porters?
Mm-hmm.
who gets Surfer? Who gets MOE?
Well, you can't get Surfer because he's bad.
Oh, true. Okay.
But it really tests and it also helps build kind of out of the box, and like it gives you that opportunity to be like, hey, I really like to play. Like, say, I'm just saying this out, like just theoretically, like I really love to play Daredevil. Can we build me a team around Daredevil that could possibly withstand some of this, can battle? And I think it allows for that kind of team building.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited. It'll be I believe set up. I get to team with Dan and TJ. Dan and TJ had good success last year at Rock Cup, and then TJ and I have good success in teams events. So we decided that the three of us together should be able to be successful.
You should be able to do something.
Our powers combined.
I'm surprised, and I'll say this: I'm surprised they didn't do anything with Goblin King. Now, I granted, like, you don't want to play full point Goblin King because it's you have stop signs and you could bury it, like, but man, that piece, like, if you're gonna take away like surfers and stuff, man, like, but you're gonna allow a Goblin King, I just don't like Goblin King.
They made him better. They made him and Jakeem better. They're Rad as well.
I just,
I think Goblin King in a 400 point format might be a little bit of a problem, but I think there's potentially enough that can fight him.
Oh,
I know I'm ready to fight against him. My team is A-okay.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not too worried about Goblin King.
Yeah, you have a rune.
Yeah, I mean, I could not root him and be fine, I think, but
Fair.
Yeah, our professional Agatha player here.
when I win something, I'll let you know.
You've done really well with her. You've done better than with her
Yeah.
than I think anybody else has. So
I'll keep trying.
I love how, like, I try to play with her. Like, I was like, okay, Agatha's so good. And Daniel's like, she is trash. And I'm like, Daniel, she's so good. And like, I was playtesting with her. Like, I was like really working on placement. And I was like, this really is good. Like, she's got the option of mind control. She's got shape change, like all this stuff. And Daniel was like, she's trash. Like, just play Scarlet Witch. Which I played Scarlet Witch and I did really well. But then like Nick comes along and does well with Agatha. And he's like, Agatha's so good. I'm like, really? Like,
we just lie and tell Nick that Agatha's good. He's just a good pilot, can make it. we just lie to him and tell him that she's good.
It's okay.
Nick,
I don't want anybody else to play Agatha. It's
Nick,
fine.
I love Agatha, so
She's fun.
I mean, that Nick does well with Agatha.
Me too. No, but I mean, Agatha and Faust is like my favorite 1-2 combo.
Faust is so good,
especially with tarot, like the tarot that like enables them to free place even more. Like those three things together on a small map like Wakanda. Yeah.
So Jeff DeMoss asks, are you interested in silver? If it's so, what you're wanting to play again? We know that Az wants to play Regent.
Yeah, so I'll touch on this real quick. Is like silver. The reason I don't generally get excited about silver is I don't form attachment to a lot of figures. So like when they rotate out of the meta, like I'm not like, man, I wish I could play this figure against. That's just not the type of player that I am. I mean I have a fondness for Regent because he won me my first WKO when I had first started playing. I like that figure, but it's not like, man, I have to play this character. That's why I want to play in silver. So I know a lot of players have these like nostalgia attachments.
Mm-hmm.
I do not.
I want to play Faust again.
Yep.
I love
Easy. 30 points. You got 370 more points.
I know.
Yeah.
And he's so good.
He's so good.
He's so good. And Nick?
The one thing I want to play, I mean, Casey Lantern is my favorite piece of all time, but I played him when it was like a new figure, not when, Legacy dropped.
Before Legacy
I did in Modern. So
back in the day when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Yep. I was exactly same scenario with Agatha. Like I was the only person to play Lantern because he had his 175 points essentially, like full dial. Or no, he was what 225. Is what I think it was back in the day, which was a lot of points for that team. So I'm happy to play that, but I really want to play him at full. I'm hoping post rotation.
Nice.
Silver, he'll be doable to play at 400 points at his full line.
Nice.
I plan on it. I have a team for it, so we'll see.
And then we have this Nick Belew that asked a question.
Who's this?
Who's this scrub that? Az, why isn't Kong on your team?
Well,
asking for a friend.
He might be now.
I didn't have it a couple of weeks ago, but then I wanted to learn from the Sorcerer Supreme and the Master of the Mystic Arts, and now I'm not allowed to. So now I'm off all mystical characters.
That's fair.
Beep boop.
I think I posted that before they announced it wasn't going to be legal. It's like now I just feel bad.
Yeah. Beep boop. Praise our robot overlords.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was all of our questions. Some good questions. Yeah. Hey,
I don't get to ask. TJ never showed up, so I don't have to ask him my Gator Tot.
I know Gator Tot doesn't get to make an appearance tonight. Sorry, Nick. We've Gator Tot's next victim is TJ. So
Yep.
That's okay.
So TJ, if you're listening to the episode that you're supposed to be on that you're not on, be prepared because Gator Tot's coming after you. So again, lots of great news coming out. If you're listening and you go back, read a bunch of the news on the Clixed Off page. I know that they share everything that comes out from WizKids and The Rock. Hopefully we'll be posting a lot of upcoming events. I know that Jay is having one in Columbus in April. So that's going to be exciting. He always runs great events up in the Columbus area. And hopefully there's more happening. Now that Rock has kind of set the Silver Age format. Like, hopefully that gets going so we can kind of see more of bigger variety of stuff played. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. But I'm not sure when we'll record next. Hopefully before Adepticon, but if not, obviously, good luck, guys. You guys go kick butt. Obviously, I'm rooting for my significant other to win, but I also root for Clixed Off to have a good showing. So,
I agree.
I mean, I have to be a little biased there. So
You're allowed to be biased. Legally binded.
So anyway, you guys have anything else you want to add to the show today?
Yes.
No. I think it's starting again to become. It's starting to be a really good time to be a hero player again.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Nick, you have anything?
I think, yeah, I don't know. I mean, touching on that, I think if you're able to play, people should. I think the more players we have, the more participation we have, the more success we see with events. So get out and play.
Yeah, I would piggyback on that. I think we just get out and play and test all that stuff that's kind of wonky right now. It's the wide variety of stuff right now that you have to prep for when you think about going to a tournament. So I encourage people to get out there and play and fill out those surveys, and let's just keep prying and saying we want more events, we want more pricing, we want more opportunities to grow this game even further than it is. So
Yep, for sure.
anyway, it was great talking to you guys. It was great having you on. Everybody, again, like, if you like what you're hearing, definitely become a Patreon to us. This is how we do these shows and able to provide such great content for you guys. So if you have any questions or you want to talk to one of us, please message not me, but one of the guys. I know Az and TJ, Daniel and all of them, they love the Clix talk. So
Get in those DMs.
Get in those DMs. And you can also message Nick. He's part of the team now too. So
Yep.
So we're not scary people. But yeah. Anyway, that's all we have for the show, and you guys have a great night, and listen to us later. See ya.